Good morning world and all who inhabit it. I'm SpongeBob SquarePants and I'm bringing you to the world of Dark Souls today. As you can see, we are no longer in Kansas, Toto. Since the last episode I did a little bit of farming. I went around and did some miscellaneous crap. I picked up the armor that I will be using for most of the remaining of the Let's Play. I even went and got the Grass Crest Shield, which is in the Darkroot Basin. I did not beat the Darkroot Basin. I just went there for the shield and pretty much did absolutely nothing else. This episode, I'm going to be taking you to the Undead Asylum again, the place where we all started at. There's one more boss in there. To get there, we have to go here. It's kind of a little secret jump. First things first, we're going to need this key to unlock a certain part in the asylum, so we can get the rusted ring, which will make the Darkroot Basin boss much more easy. Much easier. As you can see, I'm starting to look a little bit more like a ninja, which is pretty fucking badass. I'm wearing the dingy robe, which is what I wanted. I think I originally stated I'll be using the brigand trousers. I found out that the Wanderer trousers are much better, so I'm actually using those, or Wanderer's boots. I think I was getting the two confused. I still don't have the Black Magician gloves, so right now I'm using the gold-hemmed gloves. So you see this nest here, we're going to curl up into an egg shape and wait for the crow to come take us away to the Undead Asylum. As an aside, I'm not really using the shield to block. I haven't yet. The reason why I picked it up, for those who don't know, it increases the your stamina regeneration. So as long as you have it, even if you're wearing it on your back like that, your stamina will regenerate much faster, which comes in handy a whole bunch. I fooled around with the parry a couple times, trying to get out of Blighttown. The giants with the clubs, I parried them just to make sure that I still could, and I did fairly well. I haven't died, which is good news. Which is also why I didn't film. I'm sure that would have been boring. But as you can see, I have 5 humanity up. The reason for that is because I actually got poisoned with toxic, which is a much more fatal version of poison. And I actually ran out of Estus waiting for it to dissipate, so I had to keep popping humanity in order to keep my health up. You know, I almost died.
You, give me warm, give me soft.
So that's Snuggly the Crow that you just heard. Remember that rubbish we picked up near the beginning of the game? We're going to drop it here, and then Snuggly is going to give us a really neat item. Unfortunately, the item doesn't spawn unless we quit out, so I'm going to do that real quick. Should only take a second. You know, see, good thing about PC is load screens are a fraction of what they are on console, which is something I really enjoy. It's one of the main reasons why I can't wait to pick up Dark Souls 2 for the PC. Because, I mean, playing that game, like half the game is load screen because you're always teleporting between bonfires. Another thing we're going to pick up while we're here... Oh. Yeah, he's just saying the same crap over and over again. One other thing we're going to pick up while we're... Oh, a chunk. That's what the rubbish drops. Oh, yeah. We're going to pick up the doll. There's a doll in our cell back where we came out of. And that's going to let us into the world, painted world of Ariete. Or Artort. Is it Ariete? I don't remember. I'm not going to fight the boss quite yet. Like, I'm going to go get the doll and then fight the boss. I'm going to try parrying these guys. See. Oh yeah, one other thing I didn't mention since that I did since last episode was I upgraded my weapon. I have a +9 Uchi Katana, so I'm doing like some mad damage now. About time. So we got some good drop from him. Up here we're going to run into our old friend, the person who broke us out of the cell. He's now a enemy that we have to fight. I'm actually going to try to lure him, because that ball is back. Oh, that's so fun. I still got it. I'm happy about that. Like, screw blocking. I just want to parry. Hiya! Die with honor. The crest shield is actually pretty decent. If I were going to use the A shield at all, it'd probably be that. It's got really good, it's got some really decent magic resistance, which will come in handy. I might actually use it against the Four Kings, because almost all their attacks are all magic all the time. One thing that I forgot to do before Lautrec killed the Firekeeper was turn in my Firekeeper souls. I picked up the one in Blighttown. That's something I didn't film. Like I said, I did some farming in Blighttown. I went around and picked up some items. Yeah, I spent a lot of time just goofing around. I still got it. I'm happy about it. Maybe it's a unique possibility that I'm not used to how enemies attack in 2, but there's the doll that we wanted. But in Dark Souls 2, parrying just seems way more difficult. I tried it, and that's actually what prompted me to not use a shield at all, was that, I couldn't parry, so that's the #1 function a shield provides for me in this game. So fuck it, I just discarded the shield, I two-handed everything. I even tried some dual wielding, that was a lot of fun. Before I fight the boss, I'm going to kill these guys, just in case they follow me down, which happens occasionally. I don't think I rest at this bonfire. If I die, I don't want to go back. I don't want to go back to Firelink Shrine or the Undead Parish or any of that nonsense. So, I want to make sure I'm going to actually respawn right there. The boss we want is right below us. The floor is going to give out. I'm actually going to get a running start and jump. That way I can come over here and Estus up. He's not aggroed yet. He doesn't even know I'm here. But, he's going to spot me right now. This guy's actually kind of easy, as long as you hug his butt, pretty simple task. One thing you gotta watch out for is his area of effect. Attacks like that. It'll ruin your ice cream. Poop right inside of it. Those aren't chocolate sprinkles, that's demon poop. See, you can see that I'm bleeding him out. Every time you see, like, a lot of blood gush, that means he's bleeding out. And it takes a really decent chunk of his health. I'm already almost done with him. I usually fight this guy pretty early on, so I'm not used to this fight lasting so little time. You know, I'll come here without, you know, even an upgraded weapon. I'll just fight him. He's pretty easy, drops an ass ton of souls, and he drops, you know, a Titanite slab, one of the only possible 5 you can get in the whole game. It's not like Dark Souls 2, like, Titanite chunks are actually kind of easy to come by. Or Titanite slabs, I should say. Like, everything, I upgraded everything that I had in my first playthrough. In this game, in my very first playthrough ever, you know, I only found this one. I didn't even know how to get the others. Which, you know, I'll show you whenever I go into the Great Hollow. There's some lizards in there that drop them. So that took significantly less time than I thought it would. So one of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to go get the ring that I really came here for, and then I'll just run over to the Hydra and I'll fight him real quick. It actually shouldn't take too long. Hydra's pretty easy, especially with the gear that I have on now. Like, I'm just gonna, you know, probably beat him before I cut off all of his heads. Which is actually something that's kind of interesting. You are able to kill the Hydra without cutting off all of his heads, because you're just dealing so much damage to begin with. So all of this should look pretty familiar for those who have been watching since the first episode. Of course, you got the couple guys here. I gotta watch out for this archer. They're still pretty weak. I didn't go this way the last time I was here. And there's a gate here that would have been locked if I would have showed you guys, but like, I didn't want to waste my time. Like, I knew it was locked. But that key I picked up unlocks it. And literally the only thing that's over here is this ring. Oh boy. So I'm actually going to come back this way because I'm going to drop down. Heal up. Take these guys out. Fire bad. Actually, fire good. One other thing I did since the last episode is I went and rescued the Pyromancer, like I said I was going to. So I do have a Pyromancer glove. I have it equipped, but I haven't used it yet. I don't even think I have the attunement to put any spells on, but I upgraded it to +7, I believe. Actually, that has me curious. Yep. It kind of goes up to +20 in a weird way. Like, it goes up to +15, and then, you know, after 15 you can ascend it to +5, which I don't know why they didn't just let it go up to 20. I don't know what the ascend actually means as far as the plot goes, why it's significant to the game. Huzzah! And we're back here. Because Lautrec killed the Firelink Keeper, Firelink Shrine Keeper, I can't use that as a bonfire until I rescue her. Which is actually something that is semi-optional. Like, you can go through the whole game without rescuing her. Which I don't recommend. Firelink Shrine is a very important place. It's in the center of everything. But I've actually screwed up once. One of the things I like and hate about this game is you can actually screw up encounters and you won't be able to access like items and abilities if you screw up those encounters. And I remember one time I lost to Lautrec, and I didn't know, at the time I didn't know you could like fight him again. I was just like, oh man, now I lost to Lautrec, now I'm never going to get the Fire Creeper back. But I think I tested it later, and you know, you can keep fighting him until you kill him, I'm pretty sure. So we're carrying around a whole hell of a lot of souls. So they don't go to waste. We're going to use them up. I brought my dexterity up to 20, so that's good. We're going to put a couple there, and one there. That sounds alright. As weird as it sounds, I'm kind of one of those guys who really like symmetry. Like, it feels awkward if I stop leveling at like 27 and 21. Like, I want to work on one thing at a time and get that, like, normally I would be working on my endurance and getting that up to 30 first, and then maybe I'd be working on my vitality, but the actual smart thing to do is to spread out your points in order to meet the demands of the curve. So this way leads us to the basin. I did kill the lizard that's in here. He dropped me a twinkling titanite and I think a large titanite shard, which was pretty boss. I was alright with that. But that's... I killed him and the Black Knight that's in here because the Black Knight is guarding the Grasscrest shield, but nothing else. I didn't even come over here to pick up the Hunter set, which I won't use. I came with the Hunter set, but I'm not using any of it now. First things first, I want to be able to take out these golems before I take on the Hydra. If you look, the Hydra is like kind of over there. He's shooting water at, you know, in my direction, and that's what you're seeing. Ugh. Nope. And these guys aren't that tough. I mean, you really got to watch out for that water, though. That will wreck your day. I got hit a few times in other playthroughs, which is why I'm keeping it, you know, keeping it cool, keeping it safe over here. Like, that water hit the golem dude, and he's almost dead. Oh. A couple more golems I gotta be able to take care of. I'll come over here and pick that up. That didn't do as much damage as I thought it would, but it's still not a fun experience. I did aggro this guy, which is what I wanted to happen, so that I can fight him from a safe distance. Incompletely. Nothing to them. They're pretty slow. Their attacks are really telegraphed. Hide behind this tree. That didn't help. Additionally, if I got more time, I will take you guys to fight Havel the Rock. You know, he's kind of a mini-boss. NPC. I almost forgot. Before I run down there, we're going to get rid of the wolf at the Iron Ring. The Iron Ring, the Rusted Iron Ring, is going to allow us to walk in water without being slowed down. Which is a big deal. Because this guy would be nearly impossible without it. I mean, I shouldn't say nearly impossible, but I watched other guys, you know, beat him just by rolling out of the way. I'm not into that sort of thing. Oh yeah, I do want to use the shield for this. You know, I'm pushing out a little bit. Because you never know where their heads are gonna pop up. It's taking no time at all to beat this guy. I think you're supposed to fight this guy pretty early. And maybe even they make him easy because they don't expect people to go back and get the rusted iron. I don't know. The iron ring would have made Blight Town a whole hell of a lot easier, but like I said, you know, in a certain way you're supposed to go to Blight Town before going back to the Undead Asylum. And we killed ourselves a Hydra. Over that way is Dust. She's an NPC that I can unlock by rescuing her. I'm not going to do that quite yet. In fact, that might be one of the things I'll do off camera right before I do the DLC, which I do have. You know, I want to play the game in its entirety, and I'll show you guys how to, you know, go through the DLC. I finally found like really effective ways to fight Calamite. I finally beat him in my one bro playthrough, which, for those who don't know, I played through the game with, you know, without leveling at all. You know, literally staying at level 1. So Havel the Rock is in here, and he hits pretty hard, but he's also pretty slow, and his attacks can be, you know, easily dodged. He's a tank. Get a few more backstabs on him, and he'll be a piece of cake. See, he seems pretty easy. I have actually died to Havel. He hits pretty hard. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if one hit from him now would, you know, kill me. Which is why I'm being very cautious about my attacks. I'm not just kind of running in. And that should be the killing blow. So guys, you've seen me beat 2 bosses again in one episode. In addition to a pretty powerful NPC, I got some pretty awesome loot. Up here's the Berg. I'll be going to rest at the bonfire. As another heads up, tomorrow is Thursday, which means I'll be uploading a Throwback Thursday with Donkey Kong Country 2, probably my favorite Super Nintendo game of all time. Actually, not even probably. It is my favorite Super Nintendo game of all time. A lot of people, they'll argue Chrono Trigger, they'll argue Illusions of Gaia, and I wouldn't argue against it, but really I'm just all about that particular platformer. So, as another aside, as you guys already know, I didn't film a lot of what I did before this episode. That pretty much means I'll be streamlining a lot of the events. Like, I'll skip like just parts of me farming. I'm going to be doing that a lot now that I have the gear that I want. Of course, I want to be able to pick up, stuff to upgrade my weapons, and that takes time, and it's really boring and confusing. Anyway guys, thanks for checking me out, and I'll see you guys in the future.